YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate if you jump on here live here on this Monday evening. Feel free to, as always, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. Hopefully everybody had a great Monday, and hopefully you had a fantastic weekend as well, and your week's off to a good start. But if you watch the channel regularly, you'll know that I think it was last Thursday. Good evening, Keveron. Good to have you here as always. Go Tigers. Good evening, Austin. Good to have you here. I think it was Thursday, but in one of my videos last week, I did another 2025 early season college football preview. And in the video, I said I was going to try to do 8 or 9 more before the season starts, with week 0 now less than 3 weeks away. That I did one on Saturday, and I'm fixing to do one right now, and I'm probably going to do at least 1 more, if not 2 more, this week. So right now I'm on pace to at least do 8 or 9 more before the season gets here, because I don't write down every time I do one. I try to do 4 or 5, and then when I think about it, I'll go back and write down the ones I've done. And I think I'm right around 15, counting the one NFL schedule I did. So I'm trying to get to at least 20 before the season starts. No, Austin, I don't. I'm a Cody Rhodes fan, but I've always thought that since the crowd loves him so much, he should never be world champion. And the more he loses, the more the crowd gets behind him. So I'm a fan of Cody Rhodes as a wrestler, but I'm not a fan of Cody Rhodes as a champion. That's just my 2 cents. Hey there, Sigma. Glad to have you here. No, I don't like Seth Rollins at all. Never have. Seth Rollins, I don't care if he's good or bad. I've just never liked Seth Rollins. Never have. But tonight we're going to talk about Alabama. So I'm hoping that my man Eddie, who gets on here a lot during these live videos, jumps on here, because I believe he is a Alabama fan. I'm not positive, but I think he is. Tonight we're going to preview Alabama's 2025 college football schedule. I am doing fantastic. I'm hoping your name is a Lamb. If not, I apologize. And hey there, Fode. Glad to have you here, and thank you. It's a southern accent there. I'm hoping your name is pronounced Pie-wee. If not, I apologize. Thank y'all for being here. Please give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please do so, and share the video on all social media platforms. But remember, Alabama was 9-3 last year, and that 9-3 in the regular season was not because they lost to great teams. One of their losses came to Oklahoma, and one of them came to Vanderbilt. Thank you, Fode. Appreciate that. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell them all to subscribe to the channel. But, you know, usually you lose to Oklahoma. Most years, it's not a bad loss. They're a good team. Typically. Last year, they were terrible. And Vanderbilt should never beat Alabama. Never, ever, ever. But when Jalen Milroe is bad, he's bad. And against Oklahoma, he was awful. And against Vanderbilt, he was basically non-existent. Bama's offense couldn't score in that game on the field by themselves. I am from the deep south there, Alim. Thank you for asking. And hey there, Filipina. Glad to have you here. But this year, can they do better than that? Let's find out. Now, we know that Nick Sheridan was their offensive coordinator last year. In the offseason, they went out and hired Ryan Grubb. Now, Ryan Grubb is listed as the offensive coordinator, but Nick Sheridan is supposedly also the offensive coordinator, but he's got other jobs on the offense as well besides calling plays. So basically it tells me that Nick Sheridan got demoted without being demoted, because why are you going to hire Ryan Grubb to call plays if Nick Sheridan is still calling plays. And then Kane Womack is their defensive coordinator. And Ty Simpson is now the quarterback. Now, he's played before, and he's not very good. Hey there, Marco. Glad to have you here all the way from Israel. Thank you so much for checking in. And Liam, you're from Bangladesh. We're glad to have you here from Bangladesh. And please tell all your friends and your family about the channel. And I appreciate y'all being here from Israel and Bangladesh. I enjoy having the viewers from all over the globe, so I appreciate y'all being here. We talk college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, some college baseball, college basketball, some NBA, wrestling, and then I do top 10 countdowns. Some of those are about sports, and some are about a variety of things. So not every single video I do is sports related, but most of them are. And also, most of my videos have a dad joke in them, and everybody loves a good dad joke. But one thing I will say about Ty Simpson is he hasn't impressed me at all, but at least he's consistently average. And like I said a while ago, when Jalen Milroe's bad, he's bad. Now, Jalen Milroe in his best day could run circles around Ty Simpson. But when Ty Simpson is having a bad day, he's still average. And when Jalen Milroe has a bad day, he couldn't start for a Division III football program. So if Ty Simpson can just be consistently average, he might be better than Jalen Milroe overall. But when Milroe is having a good day, he's way better than Ty Simpson. But last year, the Oklahoma loss and the Vanderbilt loss, and for sure the Michigan loss in the bowl game, was all on Milroe. If memory serves, against Michigan, I think Milroe had 3 turnovers in the first 10 minutes. I mean, he was absolutely awful. But Alabama opens up with Florida State on August 30th. And then we have a Louisiana Monroe on September the 6th. Wisconsin on September 13th. And then the first bye week of the season. Georgia after that on September 27th. Vanderbilt on October the 4th. Missouri on October the 11th. Tennessee on October the 18th, South Carolina on October 25th, and then they have their second bye week. November the 8th, LSU, as always, they play LSU after a bye. LSU and Bama are both off every year the week before they play each other, just like Georgia and Florida are off every year before they play each other. November 15th, Oklahoma. November 22nd, Eastern Illinois, and November 29th, as always, Thanksgiving weekend, wrapping up the regular season with Auburn. Now, I mentioned a while ago their quarterback and the coordinators, but at wide receiver, they've still got Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams. Now, Ryan Williams is a phenomenal receiver. He's not the best receiver in the country, but he is really, really good. And their running backs are Jam Miller, Richard Young, Daniel Hill, and Kevin Riley. Now, they've got a couple other running backs that have joined the team, but Miller, Young, Hill, and Riley will be the 4 mainstays and the 4 that see most of the carries and the catches on offense. I do like boxing a limb. Now, I'm focusing on their offense because I think their defense is fine. I think Kane Womack's done a good job coaching defense. Now, it's not as good as it was, 8, 9, 10 years ago, and they had those 5 stars at every spot, but it's still serviceable, and it's still good enough to where if they can score 24 points, they're going to win about every game they play. But the problem was last year, games like Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, they couldn't score 14. And I don't care how good your defense is. If you can't score, you're not winning. So I don't think their defense needs to be talked about because, to me, the defense ain't the problem. It was the offense. Now, can Ty Simpson be good enough to score 24 points a game? Most weeks, probably so. And I will say that Kalen DeBoer, he loves him. Some Ty Simpson, he makes like Ty Simpson's the greatest quarterback ever played. And now, that's a coach's job. You're not going to get out there and say, man, Ty's terrible. We're in for a long season. We're going to suck. You're not going to say that, but there is a such thing as overdoing it, and I think Kalen DeBoer's overdoing it when it comes to the love of Ty Simpson. Now, when I see their schedule, to me, I see 9-3 on the schedule, which the good news is that means you haven't gotten worse from last year. The bad news is that means you haven't gotten better from last year. But I've just seen too many inconsistencies in their offense for me to believe they're all of a sudden going to be an 11-1 team this year. I just don't see it. I see they lose to Georgia, and I say they lose to LSU, and I say they lose to Oklahoma for the second straight year. Now, like I said, last year Oklahoma was dreadful, so no business losing that game. But this year, I think Oklahoma's going to surprise some people and win probably 10 games. So this year, the Sooners beating Alabama is not really going to be an upset. Now, if Alabama's offense struggles against Florida State and Louisiana Monroe, I could see them losing to Wisconsin. But Wisconsin's been so bad so far under Luke Fickell that it's just hard for me to believe that they're going to come out now and all of a sudden week 3 of this year beat Bama. But if Bama struggles to get to 17 points, they might could beat them. But as of right now, I say 9-3, 5-3 in the SEC, 9-3 overall. All 3 losses coming in conference to Georgia, LSU, and Oklahoma. And I think Georgia's better than they are. I think LSU's better than they are. And I think Oklahoma's better than they are. Hey there, Russell. Glad to have you here, and thank you for mentioning musician Hashy. I'll check that out whenever I get a chance. Appreciate that. But I said this last year before the season started, and I still believe it, and I was right last year. I think Alabama's glory days are over with. I think Nick Saban saw that coming, and I think that's one of the reasons why he retired. Nick Saban doesn't like to lose, and that's why he coached 85 programs before he got to Alabama. He don't like losing, and I think he could tell that the writing was on the wall that their glory days are over with, and he wasn't going to coach and be 8-4, 9-3. But I think their glory days are over, and I don't think they're going back to the Mike Shula days where they struggled to get to 6 wins. They're not that. But I think now they're going to be another Tennessee. They're going to be a consistent 8-4, 9-3 team, and may occasionally sneak up and win 11 games, but most years they're going to average 8 or 9 wins, just like Michigan State usually does, just like Tennessee normally does. Hey there, Christian. Glad to have you here, but any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. And Christian, I think it's the first time I've seen your name in the comment section. If it's your first time here, feel free to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. So Alabama, 5-3 in the SEC, 9-3 overall, with losses to Georgia, and then back-to-back losses to LSU and Oklahoma. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. I am writing a book about all the things I should be doing in life. It's an ought-to biography. And that does it for today's Rev Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Rev Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.